So as we creep into the height of summer, we've come back to White River Cinema to catch up with our good friend Burt, who's the manager here at White River. Hello.
Hi Nath, you right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Summer, good time for the cinema. I feel like summer blockbusters used to be a thing.
Yes, they still are. The only thing I'd say that it's probably changed. You don't get your big August ones. Most of them are early and they'll sort of roll in to the summer. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but obviously your timeline for cinematic releases to coming out on DVD, there's like a window. And if they're released in August, they'll sometimes miss that cut-off to be released in time for Christmas to be on DVD sale. So they'd always try and get it out June, July. But those windows are shrinking now. So you do get later ones. But June, we had huge hits. And they're still rolling on because they're so popular.
Yeah, I was thinking this the other day, actually. We had some really big films in June. It almost seemed like they peaked a little bit too soon for the summer release.
Yeah, and we had too many. It was one week. It was bang, 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 bang. And so where do we put them? It was like a new film coming out. I said, well, where do we keep it? Because Top Gun was out in May and it still rolled on 2 months later because it's still bringing numbers in. People still wanting to watch it on the big screen. So the longer film runs, the better it is for us. So we want to keep it playing. But then when you've got your fresh content, you sort of need to change things up. And you say, well, but if something's doing well, we want to hold on to that rather than taking a risk on the new stuff. So it's a tricky business sometimes, fitting it all in.
I guess you get a little bit extra capacity because the hours change, don't they? You're open a lot longer during the school holidays.
Absolutely, yes. So now we are running all day, every day. So because normally off season or out of the holidays, it's just weekends, evenings, and Wednesday afternoon we open early, and occasional Mondays. But yeah, now it's all day, every day. And if it's a bit of rain, then we will be very busy. So if you are planning a trip on a wet day, make sure you book in advance.
It's the British summertime, it's going to rain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've had a heat wave, haven't we? So
yeah,
that was last week. Yeah, it's raining today.
So just before we get on to some of the new stuff, with the kind of summer holidays in mind, do you bring back some of the kind of classic kids film that we want to see again on the big screen, or is it all kind of new release stuff?
It's new product. We have had some requests. There's a couple of anniversary releases, and we will do occasional classic ones, but they don't always work, to be honest. So if it's an anniversary of a classic at an event, so we've done well with Hocus Pocus in the past at Christmas, Halloween, and Home Alone at Christmas, and Elf at Christmas. So if you've got a classic at a certain time of year, it will do well. But just showing an old film in the summer, it's always a bit of a risk, to be honest, because you've got your booking in fees and showing fees, and then you're taking something else off to put that on. It can be
not very financially viable sometimes. No.
So we tend to stick to the newer product, but we might have like an older film earlier in the year. We might keep rolling and do it at discounted prices and stuff. So, but yeah, not really many classics. We've only got the 4 screens, you see. So with the amount of new stuff around, it's not always worthwhile getting the classic in for those other reasons. But we do some, and I know there's some planned for later in the year. There's a couple of charities booked in to do stuff in October, and then we'll do our Christmas specials as well. So
great. So keep an eye on the website and, of course, the socials as well. So what's coming out? What can we look forward to for, I guess, really August and September?
Yeah. So August is fast approaching, and our next film out for families is the DC League of Super Pets. Or DC Super Pets.
Oh, so okay. So DC kids film, Super Pets. There's a lot going on. I like it.
So you've got your superheroes, and it's basically the pets of the superheroes. So Superman's got his dog Krypto, who's actually got proper powers, because I presume he's from Krypton as well, so he can fly. He's got the strength. But much like his owner, he takes things very seriously. So he's not actually in tune with the dog world, and is a bit highly strung. And then Lex Luthor springs a trap and captures most of the Justice League. And so Krypton decides to save them, and then this big event happens in this I think it's a pet shop, and there's all these animals in there, and they get superpowers. So it shows them uniting. So I think the tortoise gets super fast, so he'll go at the Flash, and then Ace becomes, I don't know what Ace will have, because he becomes Batman's pet. But then Batman technically doesn't have any powers, does he?
No,
he has a lot of money and a lot of gadgets.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to see how that one plays out. But Keanu Reeves is voicing Batman. John Krasinski's Superman, and then you've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Krypto.
Classic.
He's the main one, and Kevin Hart is playing Ace the dog. So they've teamed up yet again. I think they have to appear in each. I don't know if it's in contract now.
Yeah, they do like to work together.
Yeah, they do a lot
There's
of films together. Yeah. So
Oh,
very
that sounds
very
like
good cast.
a fun family film for the summer. I mean, I feel like I want to come and watch this now.
You will. I
Nice
know what
little
you're.
side,
Yeah,
sideline,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. I know. So I wasn't too sure when we saw a trailer for it, and I said who was in it, like the cast and stuff. Actually, I think I will give that one a go. So,
Yeah, it
does
could be
look
fun
good.
for all
Yeah.
ages.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, that's what you want with the family films. So sometimes they can be a bit too child-centric. I'm just talking about cartoons and stuff now. So obviously it is meant for the children's stuff, but you do still need that element to keep everyone entertained.
And I guess it helps if you kind of already familiar with the kind of backstory of some of the characters, or like
Yeah.
you're familiar with like their powers or whatever.
Definitely. There's lots of in-jokes as well. There's lots
Yeah.
of parodies. So, when the trailer says not giving much away, that Batman's giving a speech, he goes, "Batman works alone." Oh, apart from Alfred and Robin and Commissioner Gordon.
All these people.
Yeah. And names like a couple of the actors that are in the films and stuff. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
it's quite funny.
I feel like the a lot of the Lego franchises do that, don't
Yeah.
they? But Lego Batman was full of kind of like
Definitely.
side little digs
Yes,
and comments
yeah,
at
parodies.
previous incarnations.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of one of the big kids films. Then what else have we got coming up?
So the other end of the scale, we have Bullet Train. So it's a new Brad Pitt film, and it's also got Sandra Bullock in it and Aaron Taylor Johnson. So it's set aboard a train, and it's like these hitmen are sort of sent out to do a deed, and they all sort of come across each other, and they realise, I think they're sort of against each other, and they realise they should be working together, and it's all a bit complex. So it's all sort of set on this one train moving at
Okay.
speed and stuff. So
I
yeah,
quite
it's-
like films like that. There's been a few over the years, haven't they, where
Yeah.
lots happening on a moving thing, whether it's a train or a plane.
Yes, yeah.
Some big names in that one. Sandra Bullock, she's not done a huge amount recently. Neither has Brad Pitt, I feel.
They were both together in the, what's it called?
Yeah.
Well, not long ago.
I watched it as well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, you did
awful.
watch that one, didn't you?
Yeah, when they were on the island
Yeah.
and they had to go and rescue. Yeah, that one anyway. But
Yeah, I'll come back to us in a
but
minute.
nice to see them coming back on the big screen.
Yes, yeah, together again. So both big, appealing actors. So we both want to watch them. So yeah, it'd be good to see, definitely.
And Aaron Taylor Johnson, of course, was Kick-Ass.
Yeah,
And again, he's not done a huge amount since then, did he?
No.
I think his career
Yeah.
kind of fizzled out a little
he
bit.
did tail off, and one of the other actors in this one's Logan Lerman as well. And like a couple of years
Oh,
ago, he was
okay.
like a big name coming
Yeah.
through, and it's sort of
Percy Jackson.
tailed off. Yeah, and it's interesting. You do get actors like that. They're sort of like being 3 or 4 films in 1 year. And you don't see them again for ages, and sort of, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, where have they been?
Oh, right. It's a thriller, that one. Quite like.
Yeah, I think it's based on a comic book, like a Japanese anime type of thing. So yeah, the Bullet Train, but that'll do well. It looks really good.
Well,
Very
expect
intriguing,
me
but I
for
think
that one.
It's a 15, so obviously
Nice.
it's not a family one. Moving on towards the 19th of August, and tickets are already on sale. Is Fisherman's Friends.
Oh, yes.
Two.
So big local
One and
interest
all.
for this one.
Yeah,
So for people who maybe don't know Fisherman's Friends, this is the sequel, isn't it, for the film that came out a couple of years ago.
yeah.
Very iconic local music singing group, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
From Port Isaac.
Port Isaac, yes.
Who made it big. So this is the kind of, I guess, say dramatisation, the big kind of big screen storytelling of it. I always worry when they go in with a sequel for these big things, because I feel that the first one, especially here in Cornwall, a lot of people know them, they know the story. Is it hard then to come back up? Do you think this is going to go down well, or is this just, oh, that did quite well at the box office, we'll squeeze another one out?
I'm not too sure. I think it will do well, be popular, and I think it's got a wider appeal because people like to see the filming locations, and we like to see our local locations on the big screen. And they did do it quite well last time in sticking to a decent format rather than over characterising people, should we say, because that can be sometimes the issue. And quite often, like a Cornish set thing will become a bit too Somerset type thing, like with the accent. So did they get the accents right, and the casting was quite good. So I think it will do well, definitely. And I think they should, looking at the trailer, they seem to have got the right elements. Because there was a disruption with the band, they get back together, and then I think this shows them going off to Glastonbury and stuff like that. So there's enough concept there, and there's a scene they're all dressed up like fish fingers as well. So I think it shows a bit of
Bit of comedy there.
yeah. The manager's trying to sort of get them too commercialised, and they're saying, no, that's not really what they're about. So yeah, it's got an interesting enough story. It's locations well cast, so yeah, it'll do well.
We shall
so.
see. It's definitely, as I say, one I'd like to watch, being with the local interest stuff. I
Yeah.
did really enjoy the first one as well.
Yes.
So we will see. Fisherman's Friends, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the sort of recast. It was Daniel Mays was in the first one. So there's a new actor playing his. I can't remember what he's called. He was Rory in About Time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's
got
a bit of a recast
decent
job
actor,
on this
yeah.
one.
One word to say to you, Glastonbury.
That woman has seriously lost the plot.
My name is Leadville Treblecock, and I'm politically incorrect, my darling.
Referring to me as my darling is inappropriate.
Sorry, pet.
Anything else to note for film-wise, box office release? I think what's coming up kind of September-ish time. We have just had San Diego Comic-Con, where Marvel have done their big pitch about their Phase 5.
Oh, God, in the next 3 years,
Yeah,
2025.
which blows my mind.
Yeah.
Nothing really stood out for me, I've got to say, on that one. There was a lot of what I would call backfilling or side filling, lots of establishment for other things. So I wonder if Phase 5 is very much about building the foundations for Phase 6, maybe.
Well, the end of Phase 5 has got new Avengers films, so they have been a bit hit and miss recently. I watched Thor yesterday and enjoyed that. It was great fun. Doctor Strange was quite good, but the Eternals was bad. And what I think Marvel are struggling with is they're doing so much TV stuff as well. I think they're getting a bit oversaturated. And I'm not watching much of TV.
No.
I watched Loki and that was it. And that was good on the whole, but there's still a couple episodes in that they could have done without. And that's the trouble. Most of the Disney TV stuff, Star Wars, Marvel, all of them, there's just too many episodes within each thing.
I think in the Chaos office, there's a lot of Marvel fans, and I think my takeaway from the fourth film certainly was that they've lost themselves a little bit. Like it was a bit too silly, and it wasn't too in keeping with the kind of lore of it all.
You want that sometimes, because sometimes Marvel has been getting too serious. Like the Eternals took itself too seriously. So Thor was a bit more like Ragnarok, and it was silly, but it was funny as well, and you want that sometimes. There's a few moments within it that probably were a little bit too far, could have done without. But I mean, Bale was a really good villain.
Oh no, he was great,
Cool.
definitely.
So, but there's a couple of characters in the background sort of there, a bit juice. But I like the Asgard being turned into a theme park.
Yeah. It was. I can see what they're trying to do. I think as hardcore Marvel fans who buy into like Thor and his lore and his legend, and I think there was a lot of we don't really get this one. Like it was. But we will
they
see.
Need to
You're
lighten
right.
up,
It's a lot to get through, isn't it?
But trouble is, you've got Wakanda Forever next. That's the Black Panther one, and that's going to be the other side. It's going to be very serious. Because first Black Panther, there was a couple of humorous moments, but it was very generally serious and well taken. But it's a brilliant film, so that will do well. Then there's Guardians 3, and that's going to be silly again.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a raccoon with a massive gun and a talking tree. So he only says 3 words, but he's still talking tree.
Fair point. Yeah, fair point.
There's always got to be that. So I mean, you look at. I think the fans take it more seriously than the creators. I mean, Stan Lee would always turn up for a laugh and a joke within his own films.
Yeah.
So yeah, they need to lighten up and enjoy what they're given.
There you go, Henry. Lighten up and enjoy what you're given. Let's quickly talk about some of the live events, because, of course, we mentioned this on Radio WTW quite a bit, but maybe not so much on the TV. That, the cinema is not all just about movie releases. There's a lot of other things you can enjoy on the big screen. Yeah.
Recently, last week, we had Prima Facie, I believe it's pronounced. There was a bit of debate, was it Facie or Facie? So a couple of people came in, bought tickets for Prima Facie, so we're going with that.
Okay.
That's the Jodie Comer one. It's a one-woman show from the West End. Susie Miller wrote the play, and it was really popular. There was over 100 in watching that, and everyone came out and said it was fantastic. So, because it's tricky when you're doing a one-person show to sort of hold that attention. It's like doing multiple characters and the talking, and the whole show just that person talking. But apparently it was really good, really powerful, and it's done so well that we've got an encore of that in the middle of August. So
great.
Yeah, 18th, I believe the date is for that one. So that's a must-watch. And sometimes you get to the theatre, the ballets and the operas, and we've got a very strong following. There's regulars come in, but you don't always appeal to a wider range. As Prima Facie did, there was a lot more people coming to watch that one than we do for some of them. Next up is Westlife, live from Wembley Stadium on the 6th and 7th. So the 6th is the live broadcast, the 7th is the encore, but it's the same show, so not too bad. So that's the 6th of August. the last one was really sold out actually. The last time we had Westlife here, when they had done their Croke Park reunion.
And I feel like Westlife have been on for a while, haven't they? Like, you
Well,
know,
they split up, didn't they? They had a few years
Yeah.
off, and then
feel
decided let's get back together. Yeah.
I know my stepsister was a huge fan of Westlife growing up. Like, so I
Yeah.
feel like now she's grown up, there'll be a whole generation of that era who had them on Smash Hits magazine on the bedroom wall.
because they were
Who'd love to come
late
and see it.
'90s, weren't they? Into the noughties, Westlife. So, I mean, despite I don't like to admit it, that was about 20 odd years ago. So, so a lot of people who were fans then probably have got their children that sort of be in
Yeah.
the age enjoying it now. So
And
you'll
that's the
get-
great thing about the live events is that, you know, especially at the moment, it's going to cost people a fortune to not only have a ticket to go to Wembley, like
Everything
I'm
else and-
very fortunate to go and see Coldplay next month.
Ooh.
Cost an arm and a leg for the ticket alone, and then of course you've got to get to wherever you're going. You've got to stay overnight. It's the
Yeah.
travel.
Petrol.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The
petrol at the
fuel,
moment is
you know,
crazy.
it's so
Yeah.
expensive. So having an alternative on your doorstep for
Definitely.
what's the cost?
So it's £16 for an adult, and
Yeah.
like 10 for a child. So yeah,
Bargain.
say two become like an adult and a child is 26. So yeah,
Yeah, great stuff.
petrol wouldn't even get you out the county with
No,
it.
that's it. Might get you to the cinema. That's about it.
yeah. But yeah, it's really good. And I said it's the next best thing to be in there. So we like to replicate it and be in it. So you can see the stadium seating and stuff, and you're in with other people and the way it's laid out. So
Oh,
you're going to
cool.
get the great view. The sound's brilliant. So it's not like you're watching at home. You're out with other people
Yeah,
and
yeah.
enjoying it. So yeah, it's a wonderful experience. And the last one, they loved it. People were singing along. A couple of people complained that people were singing along. But it depends how well that person was singing along,
Well,
I suppose.
that's-
doesn't it?
Good point. Yeah, good point.
So
yeah.
Nath, be quiet next time. you
Okay,
go.
sorry, I'm quiet at the back. Yeah, me popcorn.
And then
Yeah.
the one at the end of August, he's back again every summer. Our Dutch fiddling friend, Andre Roux.
Andre Roux.
Yeah, with his violin once more. So.
This is what was his best of summer or something, isn't it? Or summer.
This is an actual live new event. Last couple have been sort of like recording and like highlight ones to sort of put stuff out in the summer, but this is a proper new show
Oh,
that he's
exciting.
got coming back out. So he's in Maastricht, his hometown, so he does an annual show there. And yeah, it's always very popular, well attended, people enjoy it, and you know what you're going to get is
Yeah.
good music, good fun. And
Take a look on the WTW Cinemas website because I know your live section has loads of upcoming events.
Well, yeah,
of course,
yeah,
some of the dates are TBC still, but it gives you a real sense of the variety. It's not just for people who love opera or love
No,
ballet.
there's
There's
all
so
sorts.
much on there, so do check that
yeah,
out.
we just added 3 new ones last week as well. The Seagull went on there, and Othello, and there's one more I can't recall. But we've got the Opera House season, which has got 14 ballets and operas from September through till next year. So because they'll release a whole season's worth over the 9
Yeah.
months. So there's no, that's like the record amount for those.
A lot of National Theatre stuff as well. It's nice
yeah.
to see live theatre again.
What's the other one? Jack Absolute Flies again. That one's coming up. So yeah, there's lots and stuff.
Great stuff. Well, Will, thank you so much for inviting us in, as always.
Yes, yeah, anytime.
And I'll be pulling up a pew for some of these films very
Yes,
soon.
yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll catch up with you with Chaos TV having a little bit of a break through August, but we'll be back again in September. And hopefully we'll be back to creep out when...
Yeah, I want to go back on location, don't we? But it's been a few things
I like to call
on holiday.
silly seasons, calm
Cruises.
down a little bit
Yeah, silly
outside.
season. The weather might be better as well, seeing it's not the summer. So.
Maybe.
Fingers
Thanks, Will.
crossed. See ya.